Widows, boss goals, how are you all doing? You're going to have looked at the thumbnail and thought, this is drama. It's not. This isn't drama, this isn't name-calling, this isn't anything of the sort. Recently I've become aware that on occasion we can educate people, we can teach people a better way. And that's what this is about. So, Ben, Simply Strange, ex-Lenient Ben fame, has been commenting on debunking, fake, real, and all the rest of it again. Hold your horses. I'm not going on the attack. I'm not name-calling or any of the rest of it. I'm going to try to educate you. Now, something that some people may have missed, and this was brought to my attention because I missed it. Does Ben admit to faking his content in this video? I'm going to play you just a split second here, and maybe this is his way of coming clean. It's not quite enough, but it's a start.
Real, whether they be fake, whether they be somewhere in the middle, you know, it's hard to know who's who these days. But as someone who has dabbled on both sides of the fence, I feel like I'm in a very, educated position to talk about this. So,
as somebody who has dabbled on both sides of the fence, real and fake, I think I'm educated to talk, not firing shots. Now, I agree. If you are if you are a content creator that used to fake your hauntings, fake your videos, and you want to change your content up and you want to have a new platform where you can discuss both sides honestly and openly, I'm all for it. Go for it. However, that little bit there that some of us have picked up on and others haven't isn't quite enough, in my opinion. What you should be doing is releasing a statement to say, okay, this is me, Ben. I was part of the Lenient Ben channel where we faked our paranormal events at our home for TikTok and YouTube, etc. We were called out by debunkers. Don't name me. I don't care if you name drop. I don't want to be name dropped. It'll never do you any good. But what you could say is, the debunkers covered this extensively, and we thought it best that we shift our content in another direction. We were caught. You will instantly get more respect from people. There are some people that will lose total respect for you. There are some people that will never come around to you because of the drama surrounding it. This, it got beyond real and fake. You've been caught. It got personal. I was part of it. A lot of people remember it. A lot of people are like, I was treated like cack by this, and you were wrong, and he's wrong, and you've both gone at each other. Forget all of the drama side of it. Apart from people that you've hurt the feelings of, maybe you need to apologise to them. You're paying audience because some of them were hurt when you were caught faking. I think you need to apologise to them. But once you become honest about what you're doing, it may not hurt you. I'll still not watch and I'll still have my opinions, but it may not hurt you. And let me show you why. This is Yasko. Now, I've had a few little things with Yasko in the past. Nothing major, not a lot of content, not a lot of videos I make. I didn't make a lot of content or videos on him because it never really appealed to me. It seemed to me to be so overblown, it was pointless. But Yasko did something a little while ago. My name is Yasko and I create videos based on all things spooky. Go beyond your own backyard. The content presented in our videos is intended to be enjoyed for entertainment. Subscribe to the channel for weekly horror and entertainment. Yasko has come out and said it's all for entertainment. And do you know how much damage it did to his channel? He got a boost in subscribers. He is now at 601,000 subscribers. Let's have a look at his views. 110, 101, 162, 159, 187, 104. Look at these views. Yasko is still doing incredibly well. Now, while his content isn't quite doing as well as he was, say, let's go a year ago, shall we? His views were pretty much doubled. But the whole paranormal field has taken a dip, especially the fake. But look at the views he is holding on to since he said it's for entertainment. And he hasn't just got this hidden under paragraph after paragraph after paragraph right at the bottom. It's in his opening gambit. And he started including it in the beginnings of his videos. Fair play to him. And his videos are still doing relatively well. Fair play. So, imagine other people saying, yeah, it's for entertainment. If Sam and Colby were to come out and say it's for entertainment purposes, would that inherently damage their channel? I think they'd lose a few subscribers. But for the most part, I don't think the majority of Sam and Colby's audience is there for the paranormal. I think they're there to enjoy themselves and get freaked out. You can, with a history of being caught faking, better yourself with a little bit of honesty. What you've done in this video, however, does working with fakers expose who you really are. It hasn't done you any favours because of the following. Again, not taking shots, this is observations. You lied about your content for a number of years. You've been caught by everyone. Everyone that's ever done a debunking video has featured you fucking up at some point. That's not me taking a dig, that is fact. There were videos everywhere. People were popping up from everywhere at one point just to release a Laney and Ben faking video. I think that's fair to say. You were caught more often than not. But you use this Mythos video that's doing quite well, and you use the, is she called Baphomet? You know, the girl with the Pepto dribble all down her and Mythos is sweating and oh my god, all that stuff. It was funny. It was cool. She seemed to deal with it quite well in, you know, her reaction. But what you did was sort of the first 5 or 10 minutes be like, yep, the argument is real or fake, whatever. My opinion on it. Just because you've worked with a faker, especially if you didn't know they were fake at the time, does that mean you're guilty 2 years later? No, it does not. If you go out with a team that is suspected of fakery, but they've never been caught and you work with them and they don't fake anything while you're there, are you then fake? No, you're not. If you go out, you see them put a drawing pin and a wire under the door, they close the door and you go, I'm not going to put it in my video, but I'm walking away from that and I'll never work with these people again, then you're part of the problem. Because I understand why people won't out people, because it's a toxic thing, people behave in a toxic manner, I understand that, but you're then part of the problem because these people are getting away with destroying the field. There's my thoughts on it. I also think that a lot of people are not inherently faking, they are misidentifying because they watch Sam & Colby's, At Baggins, that lot. But then Ben takes some weird sort of twists in this video. There's a section where he discusses, what about Amy's Crypt? Amy's Crypt have worked with fakers. Why don't any of the debunkers go at Amy's Crypt? Why isn't Amy's Crypt being held accountable? Why aren't we questioning Amy's Crypt? It's almost like Amy's Crypt get a pass. Now, I don't know the reasons why other debunkers have not covered Amy's Crypt working with whoever, but I'll tell you the reasons why I never covered it. And it's not because I'm on some sort of whitelist because of the app, because now, I can't speak for everyone else, but I can tell you 100% that that is not true. I have stated, I don't know how many times, I have no faith in any of the apps. I've done testing on all of the apps, and I don't think any of them are any good. Some of the apps, I believe, are dangerous because of the access to your microphone and the access to your stored videos and things like that. GhostTube doesn't do that. Spirit Talker doesn't do that. They seem more sort of safe. You know, you're not opening your phone up to being data mined by people. Now, out of those two of the bigger apps, the more known apps, one of the app creators flip-flops between total disdain for me and respecting me and asking me to look at things. That's absolutely fine. The other, Amy's Crypt, fuck it, we'll just call it as it is, Amy's Crypt. I brought out a video, I've tested these apps, this. Amy reached out to me, I've seen your video, cool, we didn't realise, etc. But the app is for entertainment. We've never claimed that the app 100% talks to ghosts. That's why Amy's Crypt get a pass. They don't claim that the app is in fact talking to ghosts. They state clearly, we don't know if this is talking to ghosts, it's a tool. And most of the guys I know that use the app, even though I don't, will say this is just a tool to use to help for calling out, because sometimes it's boring talking to mold and dust. The other reason people haven't gone at Amy's Crypt is when me and Parple were at one point covering the apps and things, Amy's Crypt were the only ones to reach out and offer us a look at the coding, to offer us more of an insight into their application than anyone else. Now, offering me to see your coding for whatever is kind of pointless to me because I don't understand a single line of it. I've never asked for it. Parple does understand that sort of thing, and it was offered to him. Very honest and open conversations with no name calling. That is why, from some perspectives, Amy's Crypt get a bit of a, leave them to it. The other thing, Amy worked with these people. Have these people been caught faking? Yes. But does Amy think those people have been caught faking, or has she watched any of the debunkers catch these people faking? No. Therefore, if she doesn't know that she's working with a faker, why would we have an opinion of her? This is just me firing back. But it was a little bit of venom in you when you were mentioning Amy's Crypt, like you were taking a personal dig at certain debunkers. The problem with that is that little dig did nothing for me because I don't care what people think of me. Would I work with Amy's Crypt on an investigation? Yes. Would I change the way I behave for Amy's Crypt? No. I'd be like, I don't believe in that gadget. I don't believe in that app. This gadget, the LED tripwire, I find interesting. I don't believe that it 100% proves the existence of ghosts by any stretch. But I find it interesting because I don't know how it works. I've never had one in hand. To be able to work with them and to see how they interact with it and what sets it off and to get a baseline for it is educational for me. So I hope that clears the Amy's Crypt thing up. But again, to have you with that little bit of venom being like, oh, why doesn't Amy... You know, there was a bit of something behind it. Whilst not acknowledging what you've done in the past is questionable at best. Cheeky at best. And then we skip forward through your video. I'm not playing any of your video because, you know, I'm not looking to get into another war with you because you're a non-entity to me now. You don't fake your paranormal videos anymore. But when you use this Mythos video and this Baphomet sort of rebuttal or response to Mythos, when you use them in a 42-minute video for approximately 30 minutes of it, to keep stopping the video, look down the camera and say, I shouldn't be held accountable for things that I did 2 years ago. Now, you didn't say you didn't say, as in Ben, Ben, should not be held accountable for being caught faking 2 years ago. You're just like, I don't think any content creators, if they've done something 2 years ago, should be held accountable for it now, especially if the new content has nothing to do with the original subject. I agree. That's why I never featured you and your other channels. That's why I never looked at you and your other channels. It had nothing to do with the paranormal. But now, when you are giving your opinions, your views, and, you know, you're sat there reacting and going, Mythos is a good guy. Mythos and Side-Eye guy. Great debunkers, this, that, yeah. Fantastic. And then you don't mention any other debunkers. Why is that? Well, it's because Mythos and the Silo guys started after you guys had given up on your fake ghosts. That's why you shout them out. It can't damage this reputation. You could stifle any damage you're worried about me doing by just saying, yeah, 2 years ago we would, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, we were doing this, you know, pulling cupboard doors with wires and all the rest. We got caught. We got caught by the debunkers. We've stopped that. Now we're making this spooky content, and I believe I've got a bit of an insight into, is it fake or is it real? Or should people that have been caught faking... I could have my opinion on this because I'm one of the guys that got caught. That would suit you far better. It's worked for Yasko. Yasko has got a bigger subscriber count now than he ever has. His videos, while they're not doing quite as well as they used to, they are still doing very well. For somebody that said, yep, Debunkers got me, it's for entertainment purposes only. I've put it in my description at the top, and I've put it in my video introductions. This is for entertainment. This is horror content. It served him well. Sam and Colby are not going to lose millions of subscribers if they suddenly said, you know what, it is all for entertainment. Because people are there for the content creators, and a lot of the people are there for the nonsense and the silliness. But to make this 40-something minute video and to keep stopping it, looking into the camera and saying people that did things 2 years ago shouldn't be held accountable, wrong. You should be held accountable or come clean. Once you've come clean, I've got no reason to get annoyed then. You know, you move into the exploring with Josh stuff. Exploring with Josh was caught, so why don't people go at exploring with Josh? Because we did go at exploring with Josh. And exploring with Josh explained himself, and explained himself well, and didn't react to the debunkers negatively, and was like, all right, I can learn from this. I can take something from this. And what you completely omitted, which is mind-blowing to me, why you took a dig at anyone that supports Josh. You know, you took your dig at, you know, why is Josh allowed to get away with things when he was caught by numerous debunkers? Well, he hasn't been allowed to get away with things because he was caught by numerous debunkers. But a lot of the debunkers have a lot of time and respect for Josh because during the Cody and Satorian drama, Josh went, I don't believe them anymore. I've watched the debunkers' content and something is up. I'm having nothing to do with it. And he has spoken about it a few times and not in the defence. That is why Josh has the respect of some debunkers. And when I have spoken to Josh, I've said, you know that DR60 is bollocks, don't you? And he has argued why, but he's done it respectfully. And he's like, I truly believe this could be a portal into the other side. I truly believe that. Can you explain to me why that is not the case? And then when I do, he says, fine, I need to look into this more. Do you know where I can get a manual for the DR60? No, I don't. The rear is rocking or shit. He was willing to learn. I don't know if he's still doing the DR60 stuff because he took a huge break from YouTube. He's distanced himself from certain people for the right reasons. You use an Exploring with Danny clip, you know, this is how Dark Arts and all this have faked their evidence. Listen, Dark Arts, Proving Demons, all of them. Have they faked stuff? I think so. Do we take the word of a guy that has done all of these abhorrent things in his life that is known for lying as proof that those guys faked? No, we can't, because he had a vendetta against them. This was nothing to do with the content. This was nothing to do with ghost hunting. This was all to do with Danny wasn't getting the views. Danny got outed for some shady shit. Danny attacked people and then made content saying they're all fake. You covered it, and you know this, but you left that bit out, and you shouldn't have, really. And Ben was responding, you know, he was reacting to the whole, I'm sure she's called Baphomet video, on a whole, he was playing it. Clearly didn't expect my face to pop up in the middle of it. I can't remember what I said, but it was in regards to fakery or something like that. And you can just see this, like, grit of the teeth and this deer in the headlights look of, shit, don't say anything. That was the best reaction from you, was to not say anything. Because if you'd fired back with, that guy's done this, that, the other, of course it'll fire me up, and of course I'm going to open my mouth. You didn't? I'm not doing it. What I am saying is, whilst you're going to be passing judgment on the paranormal, whether it's real or fake, I think you need to be honest about your background. I think you need to be honest about your past. You seem to want to take Simply Strange into where Laney and Ben territory was, subscriber and views-wise. I think the only way for you to do that properly is to acknowledge the past. Acknowledge that and then potentially use that to your advantage. You know, you get guys doing it all the time. I used to be a gangster and now I'm an informant to the police, or I went to prison for knife crime and now I hold talks with people about how knife crime not only ruins lives of victims but lives of the people using them, things like that. I'm not saying what you've done is in that level, but it transfers over. To sit there and actually have the bollocks to say, this is Simply Strange, my name is Ben. I was caught faking paranormal content for a while. The debunkers tore me apart and I have rebranded my content, and it is because of being torn apart and because I have quit that content, I feel like I have the position to speak on the paranormal. Is it fake? Is it real? Are you guilty by association? All of this because I was one of them that are fake. You can turn over a new leaf. I believe anyone can turn over a new leaf. It's a question that you asked in your video. But you can't turn over a new leaf without addressing the faults. I've had to do it. I've become a bit softer in my approach to debunking because I've realised I was going far too hard at people on a personal level, mostly. Some people deserve it because they're scamming and they'll never admit to it. But your video, you spent so long basically pleading for me to leave you alone without saying my name that it was like, you've just got 2k people not understanding what the fuck you're talking about because you haven't said, you know, I was caught faking 2 years ago. Should I be held accountable for that now? Yes, you should. Absolutely. If you are involved in the fake paranormal, which you were 100%, you got caught by everyone, and you are now commenting on the paranormal, you need to come clean and you need to be held accountable for shit that you did back then. As I said earlier, you can't just go out and stab somebody and then 2 years later say, you can't arrest me for that. 2 years ago. I don't do that anymore. I've stopped getting stabby. A ridiculous argument. I'm not having a go. The reason you're starting to get under my skin again is you're putting out these videos based on the paranormal and being like debunkers this, debunkers that, debunkers the other, forming an opinion without people being aware of exactly where you came from. You have a different audience now. If I look at your comment section, do I recognise any of the names in there? Because, you know, a lot of your supporters used to go at me. Some of them actually became mods for me because they realised what you were doing. This is not a jab at anyone in particular before anyone thinks it is. Just thought it was an interesting conversation to talk about. I haven't seen it as a jab. I'm just thinking you need to be, you know, you please don't judge me on what I did before without telling anyone what you did before. I think that is a shitty thing to do. Did you just love your own comment? Crying face. Did he? He did. I mean, it's an easy mistake. Laughing at myself. Right, Nick Derrick. All you're doing in your latest video is trying to justify your past actions to the extent of calling people bullies for having an opinion. You've got a point, Ben. You know, you are/was a big faker. So why do you copy others' content and call it your own? You're the one who is keeping the Conjuring House in the forefront because of the drama. All because drama gets views. I agree. At the same point, if an ex-faker was to come out and say, I'm an ex-faker and this is my opinion on this house because of the Cody Satori, because of the owner, whatever, it's a little bit more transparent. And then these comments that are having a go at you, rightly having a go at you, suddenly have a little bit less sting in them because you can fire back with, I've already admitted to my past mistakes. I've apologised. Better apologise to me too. David Tomas says, Ben, you had one of the fakest channels on YouTube. This is a joke, right? And you were going to keep getting this, Ben, until you address your past, admit to it, and then move along with this new content, or you step away from the paranormal. If you don't want to step away from the paranormal, but you want to stop this, admit to it. Or admit to it in a better way than what you kinda did in this video. I've seen what you did, it's not good enough. Once you lie for money, once you scam your audience, you don't recognise your wrongs, anything else you do is filthy, and no one trusts you anymore. Especially if someone has evidence of your scam. In the moment, you are honest and recognise what you did. It means that yes, you changed, you grew up, and you've learnt your lesson, and that trust can be given to you again. So it is a huge difference. Why are you doing the same video and practically the same title as J-Cats? Not a good look. That's something else I've brought up. It does seem that content creators, whether it is J-Cats, Mythos, Side-Eye Guy, or there's a German guy, a South African guy. There's a lot of guys covering this sort of more drama centre stuff. And it does seem like Ben is like 12 to 24 hours later putting out the same type of content. Somebody else here, BBlicious. What, like your old channel? Why are you just repackaging others' content or just doing the same exact content? Sneezing Monkey did the Zach Baggins Reddit thread months ago and you've literally copied it. Mythos just explaining what goes through his mind, and quite frankly, I think also the same. He isn't saying he instantly writes off a channel without watching them either. Yeah, and that's the other thing. It seemed to be whilst you were saying Mythos is great, Mythos is fantastic, Mythos this, Mythos that, you did seem to inadvertently take some shots at him or take things out of context. I don't think that was on purpose, but you did. He's trying to point out the way that many people think in a different way and will write off a channel without even watching them when they see a well-known faker in the thumbnail. Half the time is how I find a new channel. I'll see them in a thumbnail with somebody that I know is fake, and then I'll go and watch them. Because 9 times out of 10, they are all in on it. Not all of them, but 9 times out of 10. Mythos is actually helping, in my opinion, since it seems many people with channels haven't considered it. Of course, this thinking could be the minority. However, I totally understand why people collab with others regardless of their reps if they have a larger subscriber base. Yeah, but then you risk being guilty by association, especially if you see them faking. You know, they pull a wire, you see it, and then you go, oh, I'm not saying anything. Then you're part of the problem. By the way, I've been subbed to a channel for a while now, and I think she does a great job. Keep it up, and just consider these things going forward. Somebody here bringing up Kelsey getting involved in the Nicola Bully stuff that happened in the UK. I went exploring with Danny massively over that. I love when someone has a faker with them and the fakers actually see something real. I've never seen that. Didn't you fake things as well? All of it is fake. Right, this is somebody that sits on the fence. I would just say people should just be kind to others. Listen, I tried the just be kind thing. It didn't work for me because when I went too soft, people try to walk all over me. The real or fake, this is somebody that clearly doesn't care that much. Simply Strange doing a great job staying up to date. This is something, you know, this is somebody that's in your corner and wouldn't care less if you came out and said, 2 years ago, I got caught faking by everyone. That person isn't going anywhere. They support you as a content creator, not for real or fake. Alright, I'm ignoring stuff about The Conjuring. Let's just say thank you for what you do. See, there are people that are going to support you either way. Dude, you stepped away seriously. More like you were booted away for being ridiculously fake with the Laney and Ben channel. Then you went on to abuse people for being caught out. Now you just copy others' work. It's pathetic. It was still untimely. My choice to walk away. It was still ultimately my choice to walk away. Also, where is the proof of this alleged abuse? Cheers for watching though, dude. The face of online bullying video was a bunch of lies you were called out for. Ben, simply watch on YouTube debunker to see your proof of faking. This is going to keep happening. Right, I'm not going to read all of the negative comments. I'm not going to go at you like that. You're going to keep getting this until you are honest about your past. It will keep happening. Because while you can see I ultimately made the choice to walk away, you want the proof of the alleged abuse? Well, I gave proof of the alleged abuse. And unfortunately, what did you do in rebuttal to that? You got my video taken down with a defamation claim. That was underhanded. And everybody seems to remember that. People will remember that you hit me with a defamation case after I responded to you calling me a bully. People don't forget. People will not forget that stuff. They will never forget that stuff. But if you address it, if you apologise, not to me, I don't give a shit. I'll never give you the time of day. We are never ever going to go for a beer. I will never ever give you the nod and acknowledge you. Because to me, you will always be that guy that told the internet that I was a bully for responding to you trying to take the piss out of me. All of the screenshots are still saved away somewhere. I'm only keeping them in case this flares back up, which is going to. So Ben, I'm not talking to Laney and Ben, the channel. This is Dale reaching out to you, Ben, the human being behind it. Admit to what you did. Tell everyone, yes, I have an opinion on the paranormal because I did this. Apologise, not to me, but to your old audience, your old members, your old subscribers that have left in their droves because they felt cheated. Then you've got a clean slate. Then you can keep making this style of content about the paranormal without ever having to look over your shoulder, wondering if some tubby bearded tattooed bastard is coming after you. I don't want to feature you. I don't want to come after you. But when you bring out a video and it's this snarky little, like, you can't blame me for something that happened 2 years ago. Oh, shift beardos on screen. Say nothing, say nothing, say nothing. You can't pretend that that didn't happen. Say, I can't be held accountable for stuff that happened 2 years ago without ever actually saying me, as in you, without some form of rebuttal from either a debunker or fans of the debunking community or fans of the real paranormal community, especially when your content is covering the paranormal. I have never gone at your other channels. I've never said, you know, simply whatever the other stuff is has got a cheek to be mentioning that because of XYZ. When you're cherry picking which debunker you feature to make sure nobody's looking into your past, it's a dirty tactic. And it's not just me that has seen it. Your comment section is full of people that have seen it. So, at the end of the day, be honest. You've moved along, fine. But you can't just leave a trail of bodies in your past. It doesn't work like that. Admit to what you've done. Apologise for what you've done, move forward with your content. I ain't ever got to look again. Unless you do something really stupid, you know, like start having a go at certain debunkers, or I don't want to get into another drama. I do not want to get into another war with you because I won the last one. You took your little wins with the defamation and the face of online bullying video, but it finished your channel. I don't want to do that. I don't want to finish channels. I don't want to be arguing and having a go with you. This is me as a content creator and as a person that's been caught up in drama telling you the only way to fix this is to come clean. You can't keep commenting on the paranormal without the paranormal community blowing up at you without admitting your mistakes. Don't want anyone to take this as me attacking. That's not what I'm trying to do. This is me trying to put all of this to bed once and for all, because it's sticking in my throat when you're saying the paranormal community this, the paranormal community that, without being honest. That is sticking in my throat quite a bit. You can alleviate that just by being honest and then look to somebody like Yasko at Exploring with Josh and say, they've come clean. They've admitted to things. They've questioned things and they are still doing okay. I could probably do the same. There you go, balls in your court. I hope I don't have to feature you again. I hope I don't have to put you in a thumbnail again and all the rest of it. But I get asked a lot about you, Ben. And I'm pretty sure you can understand why. Because we went hell for leather at each other. So you don't want to be held accountable for your past. Fine. Apologise to it. People will probably stop mentioning it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, Beardo, why in the fuck are you giving this guy advice after everything he did? Because maybe a leopard can change the spots. Maybe this could be a bit of a success. Maybe this could be a bit of a positive story. Hey, somebody I went to war with, somebody I mocked, belittled, and trashed because of the way they behaved to me in the community, has actually admitted to something that they did in the past, actually said, yeah, they were right all along. I'm just here to report on the paranormal, and for fuck's sake, try not to make the same content as everyone else, because when you did your haunted stuff, it was just what Really Haunted and Smug Puppy were doing. Now you're doing this, it's the same as what J-Carts and stuff have already done. I don't want to have to get into arguments with this guy again, because I'll win. I did that last time. If he could just admit it, and then I can just post another video saying, he's admitted it all. I knew I was right. Everyone else knew that they were right. He's admitted to it. We can now move along. He is now saying, I have this perspective on the paranormal as an ex-faker. It may even do you better. That doesn't mean I forgive him for anything that he's done. That doesn't mean I'm ever going to go for a beer with him. It doesn't mean I'll ever shake his hand or even acknowledge his existence if I walk past him in the street. But it would make the difference between me seeing him in the street and being like, that's a piece of shit right there, and maybe giving a death stare inadvertently, like, fucking can't believe what you did, to, there he is. I've got no reason to say anything out of turn to him. I can just ignore his existence, and then I can ignore your existence on the platform. Or even, maybe one day, you bring out some original content that is thought-provoking enough for me to go, hey, look at this guy. He's just told everyone how fake he is, how fake he was, and he has discovered this breaking story, and that's interesting, because he would know, because... Are you listening, Ben? You used to do all of their tricks. You are in prime position to be able to speak about the fake paranormal with all of the knowledge, because you did it. And people would ultimately be able to be like, Ben knows what he's talking about when it comes to masking, when it comes to wire pulling, when it comes to this, comes to that, because he did it. Just some food for thought. I don't want a response video. I don't want a response comment. If you feel like you have to, by all means. Hope you'll be as calm as I've been here. I hope you'll behave as well as I have here. I hope you don't try anything silly like defamation or anything. All I'm doing is highlighting the past, why it's affecting your now content, and how potentially you fix it. You may never be able to fix it, because ultimately, I can never trust a liar. Much love to you all. Beardo out.